Oh, if we are, we should be a little more comfortable with each other to cluster up, right? Thank you, Teryhn. Yeah, that's right. COVID's over. Thank you so much. I know you all felt at home at your chair that you picked, but it's time to move on. So our next speaker, who, taught me how to pronounce her name just now, I don't want to say it because she does not annoy me. But Noemi is a lovely lady that Teryhn met. She is with the nonprofit Low Entropy. Low Entropy. Anybody here know anything about physics? Any physics majors in here? No? Okay, well, I'm sure you can fill them in, eh? Awesome. I'll have you come to the stage now. And please give a warm welcome for Noemi.
Thank you, Matthew. Whoa, it's high. So good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. First of all, thank you, Teryhn and Matthew, for inviting us. I'm representing the Low Entropy, which is a nonprofit organization. And first, I'm thinking, what is a nonprofit doing in sort of like a business setting? But there is. We're all. It's like a circle, right? Like we're all interdependent. Really. That's why we network too as a nonprofit. And I don't have anything prepared really because my colleague was supposed to be here, but she got called away for something really important. So I'm here with my notes. But you know what? I figure if you speak through the heart, there's nothing to remember, right? So, and we all have experiences, and I'm thinking, what would I say? I'm so good. Nafis is not here anymore, but after his speech, I'm like, whoa! Like, how can I follow that? Like, how can you top that? Like, that is a wonderful public speaker, someone who's really confident. And I thought I'm a pretty good public speaker until I heard him. So we'll see. And it's true, like there was no agenda, like you just speak what you want to speak. So I'm just gonna follow what Nafis did. First talk about himself, because we don't know each other. So it's nice to kind of, and if I have some extra space, time slot, because I don't know if I can fill 30 minutes. I think what I'll do is maybe we'll open it up to question and answer, and maybe we'll do an introduction and just say who you are, like a minute each or something. That's the one way to fill in the time, right? Only if you want. Okay. So my name is Noemi Victorino. My family immigrated here in 1989, I think, 1989. So that's a long time ago. So it's the best thing that my parents did, actually. So my parents are originally from the Philippines, and so they're well traveled. So they went to New York because they wanted to see if that would work for the 5 kids that they have. Too busy, they didn't like that, so they went to Australia. Didn't have a really good experience there. So sometimes the first impression is the last impression. So they didn't have a good experience, at that time, and that's very unfortunate. So they decided, no, not there. So then they were invited to a wedding in Vancouver, BC. And then my mom and dad thought, wow, like that is a great city. So, 2 years later, my parents applied to be a landed immigrant, and first they were denied. It didn't. And then my dad tried again. My dad, by the way, is one of the top. He's a top 10 salesperson in the whole country. He was a life insurance agent, and he carried me around. When I was young. So I'm kind of used to people also. So finally the immigration. So the immigration officer was going to deny him for the second time. So then my dad said, what is it? Is there something that I should be saying? Or and then the immigration officer asked my dad, well, what makes you think that you will do well in Canada? Okay, don't forget this is a landed immigrant application, so it's not a work permit or anything. It's actually to immigrate with 5 kids in tow. So my dad said, success is the same everywhere you go. Okay, so essentially it's in here. It's within you, and that stuck to me. So anyway, that's enough of my family. Now I'm here. So I'm so I don't know. Even when I was young, I'm not afraid of people. I love people. I've always been in positions where. In leadership positions, even in school, I was the president of the debate club and things like that. So when I came here, my first impression was it was July, and if you were in a tropical country, you know that in July or even in December, there's like many people outside. Okay, like at 5 p.m. here, at 18 years old, I'm like, where's everybody? It's only 4 p.m. How come there's nobody outside? So I don't know why I said that story, but I thought that was good. So for those who can relate, that is so true. But then you adjust. You adjust. You have to be flexible in anything in life, because otherwise you won't thrive. So I've adjusted. I'm very, very good at adjusting. Like right now, I'm basically a filler speaker. And very thankful that I grew up having family and parents who are very, very positive. And that will come into effect later, why I do what I do now. So I am the director of Low Entropy. It's a nonprofit organization. I'm the director of fund development. Funds, okay? So in a nonprofit, you have two sections. You have the programs, you have the delivery of the programs, and you have the sponsorship and getting the grants and the money. So I'm this person here. So I love the job because I know what it does. So there's a sense of purpose. I know that if I don't do my job well, the 9,000 people that we are reaching would be confused and wouldn't know where to go. Okay, so I take my job seriously. I like challenges. So I've only been doing this job for a year. Actually, not even a year. It's only like 6 months, I think. So, but prior to this, I was Nancy. I was sharing with Nancy earlier. I worked for the federal government. I was with Canada Border Services Agency. I was a senior officer for the feds, but I did I did that for a long time, enough for me to be considered retired. So what I was doing there, I was doing trade compliance. So what that is you have the border people who you talk to when you enter the country. I'm the person that would talk to you after you declared your stuff. So to make sure that you're telling the truth. So I would call you and say, you said you brought in $2 million. Is it really $2 million? Let me show you. Let me see your bank or whatever. Are there any payments after the $2 million was declared? Something like that. That was my job. It was law enforcement. So, but because I did that for a while, I enjoyed it because again, there's a sense of purpose. Okay, so in anything that you do, you have to find purpose, whatever that is. For me, I always love serving the public. Being a public servant, I really, really enjoyed that job too. But then, as a person, as a human being, I'm like, is this the only job I want to do, like for the rest of my life? So then I decided to retire because I have enough years to retire. I know, I'm not young. So then I had a few months of retirement, and my sister said, "Oh." So then I complained. I'm like, "I'm bored. I don't know what to do. I just go to the gym. That's all I do." So my sister said, "You know what? There's an opening for the nonprofit." So then I applied for the job, and I got the job. One thing too, everything happens organically. Okay. It's weird how things happen. Like everyone's just telling me, oh, there's this job. I go there and you kind of get it after. But so now that I'm in the nonprofit, I equally enjoy it. I actually enjoy it a lot. I love it so much. I'm so passionate about serving people. And the reason for that is because I have a very grateful heart. It starts with your heart. Like although no two people react the same in the same situation, but because I grew up in a very functional, loving family, I'm just full of joy. Like I'm not always happy, but I have that grateful heart. So serving the public again, but in a different way, right? Public service. This one's helping the under-resourced families. So Low Entropy Foundation, I'll tell you what it is. We're based out of Port Coquitlam, but we serve the whole Lower Mainland. We have different programs. We have the CARE program, which essentially provides groceries or food to under-resourced families. And then we have the JOY program, which is Just Older Youth program. So it's for the seniors, because the seniors most often feel isolated. You'll be surprised. Like we have a boardroom full of seniors just doing puzzles and stuff. Like it touches my heart. And then we have the Youth Empowerment program, which provides training to kids who need to develop their self-confidence. And the good thing about that, because these programs are for free, okay? They don't pay for these things. That's why I work, so we could deliver these programs. So the Just Older Youth, so they go through a 9-week program, and then they develop the self-confidence, and then after they graduate, they pass it on, okay? So it's like a pay it forward kind of program. So it's great. So what makes us different than other nonprofit? Because most nonprofits are probably, it's good. They address the basic needs of people. But what we do differently is for those people who are under-resourced, we actually call them and we ask them, how can we help you? Because we really we want people to be self-reliant at the end of the day. We don't want to see the same people over and over and over again. So we have that extra step that we call people and say, how can we help you? And if someone says, oh, I lost my job, then our foundation has an employment services program. So that's what makes it different. Why I don't have a job, or I quit my job because my husband died or whatever, and I'm not really well at the moment. We have life coaches for free. So we address the root of the problem. So it's similar to, how you have forest, right? And then just imagine this, green, and then in the middle, there's like dead trees. So you could spray paint the dead trees, right? But then when it rains, meaning the challenges, it will go back to, to just being a dead tree. So what we do is we address the root of the problem. How can we develop you from within? That's what makes our foundation different than others. We're all doing a great job, but that's what attracts me to this nonprofit. Okay, so was that just 5 minutes? Really? No, I have more. Okay. So what I do, because I come from my dad, amazing guy. He's my mentor, my biggest critic. Yeah, like, hey, daughter, great job. Oh, yeah. Anyway, he calls, did you feed your sons? I'm like, yeah. Okay, I bought them vitamins. Anyway, I just come from I have a great dad, and I say that because I get most of my traits and my characteristics and my view in life from my father. My mom's amazing too, just, more like the quiet type, So being a director of fund development, it's, you can't do it if you don't talk to people. So it's sort of like sales in a way, and you have to be very convincing. And with nonprofit, and maybe you can do the same for your line of business, it's about storytelling. It's storytelling. Real stories, authentic stories. So I'm actually a member of quite a few organizations. because you cannot do it alone. Even with nonprofit, you network. And in the beginning, so when I signed up for, like Chamber of Commerce, I'm like, what am I gonna do? There's a bunch of business people. But then I show up, and it's again, authenticity. You have to be authentic. You can't fake it. Okay, so you have to genuinely love what you do, and you have to love people for what you can give. And I believe in reciprocity. Okay, in networking, that's really, really important. You help me, I help you. So when I speak in front of people, I go, okay, what am I doing in the business environment? Yeah, there's a purpose. You know how most of us would want to do good when we have the opportunity, but we can't because we don't have time. So what I essentially do is I give platform to organizations to do the good things. I do it on your behalf, okay? So that's how I view it. And not only that, when you partner with organizations like nonprofit organizations, you actually get probably one of the best marketing thing that you can ever do, because in our society nowadays, community engagement is big. So the community wants to know, how is your business helping the community? Okay, why do you think when there's a big program, Fortis BC, sponsored this and that, because they want to build their name. Now, one thing that we have to know, we are our brand. Okay. Prior to this, I worked for Ernst & Young, so they're very big on brand. Okay, meaning you are your brand. So when they see Nancy, when they see Noemi, like, what do they see? Do they see someone who's like a user, or is she authentic? Is she kind? Like, what is it? So remember, you are your brand. How you carry yourself is the most important thing. It's yourself. So when I go to organizations, I just say, like, we have a multicultural event. Part of my other job is I do the events. I'll tell you how events work. This is good information, okay? So we have been approved by the city of Coquitlam to run the event. So they gave us a little bit of money. So we have the entire Lafarge Lake. Do you know where Lafarge Lake is? Okay. So we're gonna have our multicultural program there. I'm in charge of everything, from money to performers and everything. So I can't do it without the volunteers. That's why, again, networking is very important. And working for a nonprofit, I never knew that there are so many nice, kind people giving their time. It's just amazing. I've never been exposed to that kind of reality, because I'm more like business, and now I have people giving their time for free. Like, wow, because they believe in what we do. That's what it is. So going back to network marketing, so in planning an event, okay, so we have from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We have the performers. We have the Brazilian guitar. We have the Mexican mariachi. We have we're hoping to. We have so many. It's actually complete already. But aside from that, there are vendors. Okay, there are vendor booth where business people like yourselves could purchase, donate. I call it donate a fee for the booth. And the good thing about that is that because it's a public event, there's 5,000 people there. Basically, it's a summer event at Lafarge Lake. Like, I mean, how an investment of, let's say, 150, that's really great. For 5,000 people, public event, there's food trucks, there's 14 food trucks. So I guess what I'm saying is, even though we are a nonprofit, we cannot do our job without the business community and without the volunteers. And where we come in as nonprofit is we make you, I don't want to say it, but when you associate yourself with a nonprofit that you believe in, then you're branding yourself. Okay. So there's a bunch of financial institutions that want to support they will be the title sponsors. For example, Royal Bank presents Low Entropy. So So it's yeah. So I believe in partnerships. So what else? Okay. So when I attend, I only have 10 minutes left. Wow. I never knew that I could fill in half an hour. So I'll tell.
When is the event?
July 8th. July 8th, yeah. So my card is right there, by the way. So if you guys need my card, if you want to promote your business, that's a great way, good investment.
Or fill out the polling sheet.
That's right. Okay, so what do I do when I network? First, you have to have the personality. You have to love what you do because it will show if you don't like what you do. So I go in. Let's say I go in a room full of people that I don't know for the first time. I've never met them most of the time. I would just go in, introduce myself. Actually, people are nice in networking events. They automatically stop. When somebody joins the circle, they stop. I've seen you guys do that. And then go, oh, what do you do? What do you do? And then from there, so I'm very intentional so that's one thing. When you attend networking, you have to be intentional. Don't leave the room without knowing anybody or without getting someone's business card. My business card's this thick, it's already gone. And if you go to my office, my business card, the business cards I get is equally as much. So you have to go in there with a purpose. You're not attending networking event to not network, right? So yeah. So it's go in there with a purpose, be intentional. So what I do is I really try to get to know people, and this is what you do too. I mean, you have to be. I like to use the word kind because I just like that word. So I go in there and I talk to people, and I just I actually would immediately connect. Okay, this person is a designer, or a videographer, or whatever, right? So then at the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I have this event coming up, so I'm gonna connect with this person. I'm gonna get the business card of this person. Or you try and find common ground, okay? Like Nancy today, I met her, and she's aging with grace, right? And I'm a member of the Senior Professional Services, so I could connect her to the association that I'm associated with. So again, you go in there, be passionate what you do, connect with people because you cannot do it alone. That's it. Thank you. Yeah.
Really good. Just 6 more minutes left, so I'll do it for you. Sure. Actually, can you come up here with me for a moment? Yeah, let's see if we can squeeze out the last few minutes for you.
Yeah.
So, who knows what low entropy is now? Good. And who wants to have a meeting with her? Fill out your polling sheets. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we have another networking portion here coming up. Again, the polling sheets are very important because not only if you've already connected with the speaker, if you provide your information on there, the speaker contacts you. So as long as the contact's going both ways, we'll make sure that everybody's happy. I do highly encourage, though, that everybody here makes the best effort to make some appointments or go for coffee or follow up with someone that you've met here. As Noemi was saying, networking is, the fruit of business, the fruit of life. You learn a lot, you get a lot done. So enjoy your networking portion. I will ask that maybe this time you guys can go and see what Teryhn is doing over there regarding the raffles, because we want to give away some nice presents here for everybody. And that is how we are going to be supporting the event today. So if that's something you're interested in, just let her know. If not, that's okay. Enjoy your networking. Thank you.
Feel free to get yourself some snacks if you need.
Yep. And yeah, you can bring food and drink into the event.